We were talking about this field a little earlier, and in order to get this particular paddock level, we're gonna have to take a lot of soil out of that hump and move it down to that back corner. I don't know if you can see that stake. By the way, I'm Justin Hitt from Prosperity Homestead, and we're gonna talk about how to manage these fields so that you get maximum production. So rather than moving that large amount of soil that's in the beginning there, we're actually gonna take the top half and either broad fork it out to the point of that hump, and then the bottom half below the hump, and just till it out as separate paddocks. But what we're going to do is we're going to direct the water. So there's a lot of manure in here. It's going to direct the water kind of like in an apostrophe down and up to that back corner, because we don't want to have any water settling near this bottom corner. So this low corner here needs probably, I don't know, a foot of height to it. And so we'll instead cut this corner to that stake over there, and then kind of till it, rake it out, and make this field 2 sections. Now, I promised in a previous video we talked about the broad fork. The broad fork is an excellent way to get that water to soak into the ground, and you can see how the broad fork loosens up the soil, opens up the soil a little bit, but does not disturb the soil. The biggest problem about tillage is turning that tillage over. And if you till wet ground, nitrogen is water soluble. And so the ground's wet. That means the nitrogen is readily available. You till the ground, and then now the water, as it evaporates, is going to evaporate off that nitrogen. So you go from water soluble nitrogen to atmospheric nitrogen, and you've just wasted the fertilizer that's in the soil. The broad forking gives you a better option, because it opens up the soil, and all we got to really do is rake the top here. We don't really have to till it. We can just rake it, or we can get at like a 1/2 inch till just to break up the surface enough to come in here and start putting plants in. Once you put those plants in, which are starts, you can start mulching around those, and so we keep the ground covered and protected. The great thing about the broad fork is that it opens up the ground. It lets that moisture go down into the ground. Any nitrogen that's in the soil, rather than getting exposed and evaporating, now gets washed into the soil structure. The broad fork itself, the tines are only about 1 foot long, so you're able to loosen up that subsoil without destroying the topsoil. So again, I know when people talk about organic garden, they talk about no-till, but when you have new beds or new growing spaces, there's going to be a little bit of tillage required. Tillage required to level up the space, to make it more accessible, to better manage the water. There might be some subsurface breaking up using a broad fork, or even using a ripper or some kind of other mechanical tool. There may be layering in so much organic material that it kills all the grass on the surface and helps us start building up that organic bed that we can grow in. But still, where I'm standing is pretty low compared to that other point over there. And rather than dragging all that soil over here and rebuilding this stuff, we need to get the field operational. Now that it's March, we're going to start growing soon. So by stepping the field down into 2 sections, we can maintain the high area by kind of making it level by tilling and raking, and then we can maintain the low area by tilling and raking. And the tillage, eventually we won't need to till at all, but we're using the mechanical tillage to cover more ground faster, to be able to get that surface soil broken up and kill the roots of the cover crops and get our starts in there. And then we're going to layer in our mulch or straw or different types of organic material that is again going to protect the soil. What we do not want is soil like this. And you can see now that it's spring and it's warming up, the cover crop seeds are coming in, but there's no amount of straw you could put on this for it not to run this way. We want it like what's up here. And we can get it to where it's up here, but again, it takes the effort. Now, what's valuable about the broad fork, see the broad fork, and the reason why we have these really wide beds is because a really wide bed, we can get a mechanical system in there, such as the BCS tractor, such as a small tractor. But these types of beds, like was in here before, these step terraces, not as easy to get the tractor in, but that broad fork can come right down this row and loosen all that up without damaging structure. And of course, these areas up here can be maybe it can be mechanically tilled, but the broad fork will get this done pretty quick. And you can see how there's some biomass there, there's some hairy vetch. This area is doing pretty good, but this was actually just slashed with a string trimmer. Now this set of beds here are actually strawberries, and they're kind of naked right now. But this would not be broad forked. This would be continue to be mounded with materials, organic material, in order to serve these strawberries because they're perennials. And so this type of area needs no broad fork and no tillage, but we have the ditches in between that will get maintained over time because they're handling the excess water. Strawberries don't want their feet wet necessarily, so you can see the excess water in the ditches in between. This bed just needs to be mulched and just cover cropped. Maybe a little cover crop, mostly mulch, to kind of get these strawberry plants the preference. But again, I can get that mulch out of the path here because the path is growing up pretty strong, and I can get the residual off of these fields up here. So you notice the broad fork open that ground up without destroying the cover crop. So I can get the residuals off of there. I can mulch this out. I can broad fork that section. I can till out the bottom section over here. And it's a combination of things. There isn't one size fits all. There's what's appropriate for the land and the way the land's expressing itself. So again, it's a multitude of tools. It's slowing and spreading out water. It's managing soil types. It's creating level spaces to grow and to navigate. It's creating a for-purpose structure and all the things that you learn in permaculture design. If you have any questions about what I've covered today or anything we cover here at Prosperity Homestead, be sure to visit www.prosperityhomestead.org. Now listen carefully. There's a lot of new opportunities coming up because I do these videos on other people's farms. There are some opportunities coming up here in spring to get first-hand experience, to come and start doing this right away. So if you're interested in classes and you're in the Mid-Atlantic region, or you will be out here in March, April, May, then be sure to comment below and I'll send you a link, or visit me at www.prosperityhomestead and ask about hands-on learning opportunities. We're going to have a hell of a lot of fun out here. Now, we're probably not going to videotape it because we'll be out here working, but we'll show you firsthand how I survey from this corner marker to that marker there, and then the section here that's going to be that drop down, and then how we manage out this top part. We're going to work on a little bit of earthworks maintenance. How do we get soil? Soil always moves uphill, we talked about, but also how do we get these fields prepared and ready to put out a massive number of plants. It's going to be so exciting. The greenhouse is booming right now, and you can actually be a part of that by clicking the link below, asking your questions, or contacting me otherwise, and I'll put you in touch with the farmers that are managing or own this piece of property. Again, I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead. I want to thank you for watching, and we've been talking about when to use the different types of tools, how no single tool is the best, and how ultimately you have to look at the land and work with the land to get maximum results in your organic garden on your homestead. Thanks for watching.